Hello there everybody, and welcome back to Tree of Tranquility. We are now on the day of the Firefly Festival, and this is actually an evening festival, and it takes place at the falls instead of in Town Square for once, so that's sort of nice. But once again, unfortunately, this is going to be sort of a snooze fest of a festival for us. Because this is the monthly romantic festival, and we don't really have anyone to go with. I haven't really addressed it all that much. I haven't really talked about or spoke much about the marriage candidate aspect yet, just because I've been so busy trying to get everything else done. But I do think we have been making a lot of really good progress in the story so far. And so it might be worth sort of talking a little bit more about that. When we've met a lot of the characters, I've sort of pointed out whether or not they are a marriage candidate while playing as a boy or a girl. But it's really hard to sort of talk about the marriage candidates when there are so many of them missing. I think as a female character, you're actually a lot better off. You have a lot more default characters available to you as a female than you do a male. And as a female character we're playing as right now, we actually do have quite a selection of marriage candidates, and off the top of my head, there's only 2 that I can think of that we are actually sort of missing, so to speak. And I think that the heart events and all of that, actually, I've been finding in practice on a male file, take a lot less effort than they did in Animal Parade. So if you do want to get married, or you do want to find out who you want to marry, I don't think that's going to be too difficult of a task for you. And I think what I'm going to do with this LP is I'm going to be putting up a poll at some point. I'm not too sure how to do that. I'll probably use something like straw poll if I'm able to. And I'm actually going to let you guys pick who I should marry. Now, of course, we do have to sort of wait for the rest of the marriage candidates to come to the island. And through making our rainbows and through advancing on in the story, that is how we are going to achieve that. I did mention while we were doing our walkthrough of Town Hall and the city and Waffletown and whatnot that you can go to Gil's counter at Town Hall, and you can get some information about all of the different villagers, including what they like. So that's a good place to start if you want to figure out what a certain character likes. There's always the internet, of course. That's usually where I find most of my information. And I have been compiling a bit of a list of cheap, inexpensive items that can be purchased around town that we can use to give to both our male and our female marriage candidates. And I have been doing a little bit of testing with that. Now, obviously, the day of a festival, when everything is closed, is not really the best time to go around and start hunting people down. But again, if you've played Animal Parade or you're familiar with that, all of the marriage candidates are the same. With the exception of the added characters that they added in Animal Parade that are not available in this game, such as the Harvest King, Wizard, Witch, and the Harvest Goddess. So obviously you can see I'm just sort of wasting time. The festival doesn't take place until 7 p.m. and there's really honestly not a lot that I wanted to do today. I've been mining the last couple days. We did that mining video last time, and then I went mining yesterday, and as you can see, my toolbox is full of jewels that I have to get refined. And so I don't think I'm going to do any mining today, just because I don't really think that I have the space to hold everything. I went ahead and I cleared out my field. I know a lot of you have been really upset about my lack of weed care and stuff like that. And I am trying really hard, and I'm trying to be very conscious of making sure that the field stays completely clear of weeds so that everything can grow properly. So we're taking care of that today already. And I feel like I've also been pretty good with taking care of keeping my lumber and my material supplies up. And so I don't really think I have to do that today either. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just have a little rest of the spring here, which will put the clock forward an hour, and then do a little bit of fishing. So fishing is sort of the activity that I do when I don't really have anything else to do. And it can be profitable, not always, but again, if you have an upgraded fishing rod and you have quite a bit of stamina, you are able to catch quite a bit before your stamina runs out. Yeah. And fishing is required for the rainbows. I think there's at least 3 recipes or more that actually require a fish, 3 different fish for it. So don't neglect your fishing rod. If you're not really into fishing, you don't do it much, you don't enjoy it, at the very least, do yourself a favor and try and level up the rod if possible. Just throw the line in the water and cast it back, and keep doing that if you can, just to get the rods leveled up so that when you need to catch higher level fish for rainbows, you're able to do so. But this is also a really good way to kill time. It's randomized, sometimes you won't get a bite, sometimes you will, but I do find that it does pass the time if there's nothing else to do in a day. And this is, of course, probably going to be more profitable to me than going around town and just hunting down a few herbs off the ground as well. So this is definitely beneficial. And if we do stay on this screen and it does hit 7 o'clock, we should automatically just be put right into the festival. And since this is sort of a date festival, Hamilton's not going to be here, there's not going to be anything to buy or anything like that. And hopefully by year 2, we're going to have ourselves a sweetheart to go with. Obviously, I have my personal preferences. I sort of know exactly who I would marry, but I think just for fun, I'm gonna let you guys pick. Which is great, because it gives you that power, and you can pair me up with somebody that I very clearly don't like, or somebody just totally unexpected, which might be a bit of fun. And it's a good way to interact with you guys, too. And I really enjoy that interactivity that I get with you all, and I love reading all your comments, and you guys have a lot of really good advice for me and whatnot too, so I really appreciate that. We're definitely going to have to start thinking about getting some animals soon too, now that we have the funds, and now that we have both the barn and the coop built. I'm sitting at just over $20,000 right now. And that's not including all the stuff I have to get refined from Myra and the rest of the crops that are going to come in this season. So that is going to be one of our next steps, because we certainly have the time and we certainly have the energy now to do that. And as you can see here, I'm picking up chars from this little spring here, and a char is required for one of the rainbows, so if you haven't been able to find a char yet, or you're wondering where to find it, you can find it here. Yeah. And I'm thinking my rucksack is probably going to be full of fish sometime soon. I don't think I have a lot more space available, so I might have to run back to my house and ship those and then run back. I do apologize that all of these festivals so far have been sort of boring, but next month we're going to be getting new items at the flea market, which is going to be exciting. Everyone's going to change their inventory over, and we may or may not have some new shops too, which is going to be pretty cool. There is another festival next month as well. And like I said, we're going to be able to make some more story progress next month as well. So I do hope that that is going to help us, and we're going to be able to see a couple more things there as well. So this has actually worked out perfectly. I was able to sort of use all of my stamina today and managed to use up the majority of the day. Not going to be able to make a ton of money, but it's something. It's better than nothing. All that stuff that I grabbed off the field, a couple of fish, it should be somewhat profitable for us. So let's run back to Caramel Falls and let's see if we can't catch some fireflies. So obviously if you had a date, you would meet them here. But we still get to enjoy it by ourselves nonetheless. And that's it for that. We waited around all day for a 30-second scene. And now I'm gonna go back to my house once again, and I'm probably just gonna call it quits now. I don't think I really have much else to do today. And so that is pretty much it for the month of summer. The last day of the month is my birthday in-game, but that doesn't really become important until you have a family. So there's really going to be nothing to show for my birthday. No one's going to come by the house. There's not any cutscene or any changes or anything like that. So now I sort of have the last couple of days of summer to finish up anything that I want to do. And I'll have to meet you guys back in fall. I may or may not do another video before we close out the season. We'll have to see. But in any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope that I will see you next time.